Sorry I've been gone so long, but I'm back. Welcome back to Street Scores. It's your boy Rico bringing y'all a Redskins report centered around the Trent Williams situation, the current quarterback battle, the Samaje Perine Hype, the rookies' contract numbers, and many more. Let's get it. We back in this thing. I said let's get it. Now, before we get all the way into this Redskins report, I wanted to show y'all the results of the Twitter poll I ran for how should the Redskins handle the Brandon Sheriff's contract situation, and 77% of the 22 votes agreed with me and said that the Redskins should just write him a blank check. Whatever it takes, get him signed ASAP before he hits the free agency market. I appreciate everybody who submitted answers. I got more than just myself. More than just one answer, so I'm happy. And I have another one for y'all to answer at the end of this video too, as usual. Stay tuned for that one. Now, to officially start off this Redskins report, we got to talk about how this quarterback battle is looking so far. Alex Smith recently said that he definitely wants to play football again, but he's out of contention for winning the week 1 starting spot this year, so he's out of the conversation for right now. And don't leave out Colt McCoy, who, if healthy, has a chance to ball out training camp and earn that starting spot for week 1. I wouldn't put any amount of money on it, but it would be an overreaction to say it's impossible. He has the advantage of knowing the playbook, the offense, and Jay Gruden's tendencies and preferences over Haskins and Keenum as of right now. And he is more physically gifted than Keenum, but not Haskins. But his biggest disadvantage is his injury history. Now, the Case Keenum versus Dwayne Haskins, which is the primary QB battle. Case Keenum has the advantage over Dwayne Haskins in that he is more NFL ready because he's played in the NFL, so it's obvious. That umbrella is playbook and scheme knowledge. And Keenum may be more prepared than Haskins as of today, but he's never ran a Redskins offense, so he doesn't have it anywhere near as down packed as Alex Smith and Colt McCoy do. So it's not like Keenum just has this huge advantage over Haskins in that department. It's an obvious difference, but not huge. But back to Keenum's advantage. Being more NFL ready also includes consistency. And he was definitely the more consistent quarterback in the mini camps and OTAs. He has definitely been more consistent than Haskins so far this offseason, especially once the veterans entered in. And the being more NFL ready also includes climbing the pocket to avoid pressure, and Keenum is definitely better than Haskins at that. But everything else, Haskins has the advantage. Haskins without a doubt has more arm talent and strength, which has been shown in just a few weeks that Haskins has been here, along with college film. In mini camps, even though Keenum has been more consistent, Haskins has definitely had the higher highs than Keenum, but just lower lows also. But Haskins shows a lot of potential, arm talent, zip on the ball, and just a playmaking ability that Keenum will never have. Haskins' college film also shows that he's better at reading defenses, making both pre-snap and post-snap reads, and moving safeties with his eyes better than Case Keenum has shown in the NFL so far. And I'm expecting Haskins to be better than Keenum at those things in the NFL too. Haskins also has some underrated mobility so far shown in mini camps that he really didn't show in college much. And of course, Haskins' overall potential is the best out of all of the quarterbacks, along with his arm talent, strength, touch, and accuracy, especially down the field. And then what may be the most important factor, injuries. Both Keenum and Haskins so far proved to be durable and dependable. Even though Haskins hasn't played in the NFL yet, so it's kind of unfair. But his build is definitely a QB that can take some hits, if there is a such thing. But yeah, there's my QB chart right there. I could spend a whole video diving into this and presenting facts, opinions, and even some film to prove my points if y'all would like. So let me know in the comments if I should make this QB chart some sort of a film session, like a more extensive Redskins video. But anyway, next, Trent Williams. Lord have mercy. The whole situation is murky. At first, it seemed like he was holding out because he was underpaid. And if you take away his age and injury concerns, it's very true that he is underpaid. He is severely underpaid, injuries and age aside. The 7-time Pro Bowler, second-time All-Pro left tackle, hasn't played a full 16-game season since 2013 though, only playing in 35 of the 48 available games over the last 3 seasons. And his age doesn't matter much because he is still playing at an All-Pro level, but sadly for him, his contract has the 3rd highest guaranteed money in the league out of left tackles alone. But he is considered by many to be the best tackle, right or left, in all of football. So I understand why he may be upset with his contract situation. But it's weird that he's pulling a Julio Jones and doing all of this with an entire 2 years left on his contract. But then word got out that he had beef with the Redskins personally and how they handled his injuries and recoveries. More specifically, the tumor he had removed from his head in February. And that's why he was holding out of mandatory minicamp. But many of his closest friends, including Adrian Peterson, who works out and hangs out with him even during the offseason, said that they have never heard him bring up that problem. And I still haven't heard Trent Williams say anything himself about all of this. So I don't know what to determine as facts yet. But as of right now, we just got to see how this goes. If it's truly about money, and only money, then the Redskins can alter his contract to give him more guaranteed money over the last 2 years of his contract or over the course of an extension. On his current contract, he is slated to make a little over $41 million in guaranteed money. So with how the market is set up, he probably wants to make somewhere north of $50 million guaranteed over the course of his next contract, which could last till the 2023 season. Or the Redskins could fully guarantee this 2019 season. Maybe he would just accept that. But if it's not about the money, then Dan Snyder's job is to review the entire medical staff and procedures and then fix it. Because Trent Williams may not be the only one now or in the future that does or will dislike how the Redskins handle injuries. So it's better to get this done now before you make more players angry, especially more all-pro players. Leverage-wise, it's dark for the Redskins because we just have Jerron not ready for the NFL at all yet, Christian, and Eric, we already know who he is at tackle, Flowers. And plus they're trying to put Flowers at left guard, so they don't even want to put him at left tackle. They already know how this goes. The whole thing is just a tragic situation having either of those two starting at left tackle. Without Trent Williams, it is very dangerous to throw Haskins out there with him not being very good at feeling and avoiding pressure yet. That's going to have to develop with time and reps. The Redskins tried to get a backup plan when they put in a waiver for left tackle Desmond Harrison, but the Redskins didn't win the claim as the Cardinals had higher priority. And the tackle situation is so bad that even if Trent Williams was 100% healthy, showing up to all of the practices, fully healthy and everything, we would still need a replacement for Ty Nsekhe, who went to the Buffalo Bills this offseason. Because even with a fully happy Trent Williams, we are one Trent or Morgan Moses injury away from disaster. And then right now, we don't even have Trent Williams on board, so it's really dark. Not only do we not have a starting tackle at camp that's dependable, but we don't even have a backup for the backup that's going to end up starting so far in the offseason workout and practices. So all in all, Trent has a few options. He can, 1, return to camp and play out the rest of his contract that has 2 more seasons including this season, and then from there either re-sign with us for another contract or leave to go to another team or retire. Or he can return to camp and work on a new contract immediately, whether it be a restructure with guaranteed money or an extension that achieves the same goal. Or 2, can get himself traded, which is very unlikely because the Redskins would not get back equal value at all, and it would leave a huge weakness on this team, a huge weakness that would put our franchise quarterback in a terrible situation to grow in. Plus, trading Trent would leave the Redskins with $3.5 million worth of dead cap in 2019 and almost $2 million worth of dead cap in 2020. The team that he would get traded to would have to take the other $11.2 million in 2019 and the other $12.5 million in 2020. But either way, trading him, we wouldn't get equal value back, and we would have to take some dead cap this season and next season. And then there's 3. He can just retire because releasing him is out of the question for the Redskins, obviously. Dead cap wise and roster hold wise, as previously mentioned, with Eric Flowers or Jerron Christian being forced to replace Trent, which would be a disaster. So again, he can either fix his contract, which is option 1, or get out of here through a trade, or just retire. At the end of the day, he's on contract for the next 2 years whether he likes it or not. And if he doesn't want to miss out on a lot of money, he's going to have to play, which ultimately gives Redskins the ultimate leverage, the last say in it. But Trent Williams does have a lot of leverage in the situation. But again, the Redskins choose whether or not to trade him, release him, or pay him more money, and Trent can't do that on his own. And in conclusion, I really hope there's a happy ending for this situation for both sides. I just have to hope the Redskins front office, specifically Dan Snyder and Bruce Allen, are handling this as well as possible. Bruce Allen recently said, quote, "I know what Trent Williams told me, so I know what the truth is. I'll leave this conversation with Trent between the two of us," unquote. And that quote from Bruce Allen doesn't give me a large amount of optimism, but at least we know that there is some form of communication in this problem. And Trent Williams isn't just giving the Redskins the cold shoulder and just ghosting them completely. Supposedly, the Redskins know what the problem is and it's just up to them to solve it. So it's not a lot, but it is a start. Jay Gruden says he expects Trent Williams and everybody else to be back by training camp. And I really hope he's right. We need you, Trent. Now the rookies. Y'all already know by now that all of the drafted rookies have been signed, but I wanted to tell y'all how much they're making and for how long. I'm just going to go through the basics, like how long they're signed for, how much their average annual salary is, and how much guaranteed money is involved. Just something real quick. I wouldn't be Street Scores if I didn't bring y'all the super specific statistics and all the numbers. First pick, quarterback Dwayne Haskins has the typical first round pick deal with 4 years and a 5th year option. His annual earnings will be north of $3.6 million per year and north of $14 million guaranteed over the course of his contract. Then another first round pick and edge rusher Montez Sweat also has a 4-year contract with a 5th year option. He's making north of $2.9 million per year with north of $10 million guaranteed. Then third round wide receiver Terry McLaurin is on a 4-year contract with $961,000 annually and $1 million worth of guaranteed money. Fourth round pick Bryce Love is on a 4-year contract with $818,000 annually and $754,000 guaranteed. Fellow fourth round pick guard Wes Martin is on a 4-year contract with around $792,000 annually and $650,000 guaranteed. Fifth round center Ross Pierschbacher is on a 4-year contract with $707,000 annually and $310,000 guaranteed. 5th year linebacker Cole Holcomb is on a 4-year contract also. Everybody's on 4-year contracts, except for the 2 first-round picks who have the 5th year option. He's making $688,000 annually with $234,000 guaranteed. 6th round wide receiver Kelvin Harmon is making $661,000 annually with $127,000 guaranteed. And then 7th round cornerback Jimmy F. and Moreland is on a 4-year contract worth $654,000 annually with $97,000 guaranteed. And in our last pick, edge rusher Jordan Belfort, who I got a film session coming for, is on a 4-year contract worth $648,000 annually with $74,000 guaranteed. And they got the paper out of the way, so now they can focus on football. Let's get it. Samaje Perine, former 2017 4th round pick. He's shown some flashes of good football in him, but has a fumbling problem, which is the worst problem to have as a running back, honestly. Coaches can't trust you. But so far from what we're hearing from this offseason, Samaje Perine is out here balling. Jay Gruden has been quoted saying he, as in Perine, has been one of our top performers on offense. He's talking about as far as the offseason goes. And so I'm trying to figure out what this means. Is the Samaje Perine hype real? Or is Jay Gruden and the Redskins front office just trying to add some stock to his trade value? Like, is Samaje Perine actually threatening to take a roster spot from the legendary AD, or the very promising Darius Geis, the very explosive when healthy Chris Thompson, or the infinite potential Bryce Love? Or even push for the Redskins to make room for a 5th running back on the final 53-man roster? Or are the Redskins just trying to hype him up in order to get some good trade value from him? If it's the latter, then they're going to probably give him a lot of carries in the preseason. They're going to want to show off their shiny toy that's up for sale. We'll see though, because as of today, I just don't see him making the roster. Even though he's only 2 years removed from being a 4th round pick with high expectations. It's just not enough room, bruh. Speaking of people getting high praise, linebacker Shondion Hamilton and cornerback Fabian Moreau, both of which I hope emerge as strong Pro Bowl players for us eventually, sooner rather than later, both received large praise from Jay Gruden also. He said that they were both the 2 most improved players during OTAs. And that's a big deal for us because linebacker-wise, Reuben Foster is done for the season. Mason Foster is very limited in coverage, even though he lost a lot of weight. So he may be better in that department, but I wouldn't bet on it. Newly signed John Bostic is good, but also limited in coverage. And then Cole Holcomb is raw, and Josh Harvey-Clemens can only cover. And we lost Zach Brown to the Eagles. So we need Shondion Hamilton to emerge as an effective 3-down linebacker that can play well against the run, cover well in 3rd and long situations, and be useful in situations where we can't guess if the opposing offense is running or throwing it, and we can depend on him to handle both and not get schemed towards. Like when Mason Foster's in on 3rd downs, they throw the ball to him. When Josh Harvey-Clemens is in, they run the ball towards him. Hopefully Shondion Hamilton will not be that guy. And then cornerback-wise, Fabian Moreau, with his loads of potential, is hopefully the guy to step up and become a cheaper, but just as good, if not better, option than Josh Norman going into the future. Which takes me to the next topic. I highly doubt we will bring back Josh Norman following the 2020 season when his contract ends, unless he's willing to take a very team-friendly deal or just goes crazy on the field the last 2 years. There was even some speculation that he may have been released as a post-June 1st cut this offseason. For those of you who don't know, cutting Norman after June 1st would be smarter financially for the Redskins if they were to cut him this season. Before June 1st, he would save the Redskins $8 million, but after June 1st, cutting him would save the Redskins $11 million. But the Redskins are not cutting him this season. All of that news is dead. He will more than likely finish the rest of his contract through 2020, or at the very least 2019 this season, but I highly doubt he will be re-signed in 2021, especially at the age of 33. So we need somebody to be dependable, be able to shut down from the outside corner opposite of Quentin Dunbar, who we're not even completely sure about with this speculated nerve damage. But luckily for us, even if Fabian Moreau still needs a little more time to grow, we have Dominique Rodgers-Cromartie, who still has a lot left in the tank and will prove a lot of people wrong. We can use him on the outside, in the slot, or even as a safety. He was an excellent pickup, especially for how cheap he was. Big ups to the Redskins on that one. Not only will he help us a lot on the field, but he is also already doing a very good job of mentoring and helping the young corners on our team like Fabian Moreau. But him playing in the slot may be unlikely due to the fact that my boy Jimmy Moreland is making a very strong case to not only make this roster, but to also start at the slot corner position, the nickel corner. But who better to get him ready for his rookie season than recently hired DB's coach, Ray Horton. Jimmy Moreland is already a god-level ball hawk, with him already getting the interceptions this offseason, including 3 in one day. But Ray Horton, with his strategy of quote, getting Redskins DBs out of their comfort zone, unquote, will have Jimmy Moreland out here balling. Just watch. I'm excited. He's one of my favorite players this offseason. I can't wait to see what Haskins, Geis, and Sweat do, but I really can't wait to see Jimmy Moreland make a name for himself. And now that we've covered quarterbacks, running backs, DBs, and linebackers, one more area of concern and controversy on this roster is the tight end group. The Redskins brought in Donald Parham after waiving 3-year vet Messiah Garner, and Donald Parham brings a high-ceiling, low-floor element to the tight end group, which is what I love, especially out of undrafted free agents. Why not take a flyer on a guy when it doesn't cost you anything? He is 6'8", 243 pounds, almost an NBA small forward. This man has red zone threat written all over him. Third and short guy. What corner can cover that when a quarterback, who will be Haskins sooner or later, throws the ball in a spot where either Donald catches it or it's incomplete? He has a huge catch radius. And to go with this huge catch radius, he also has very good hands and knows how to box out defenders covering him so that they don't even have a chance to make a play on the ball. Just imagine LeBron going out there for a catch. Now, he does come with his negatives. He's not very strong, so his blocking isn't ready for the NFL yet. He isn't very fast, and he doesn't have his route running down yet. But these can all be improved on with some NFL gym and diet to strengthen him up, and some NFL coaching and reps to improve his route running. I'm excited about him as a possibility of solving our tight end struggles. I wouldn't bet money on it, but it's definitely not impossible. And if it happens, remember that we didn't have to even use a draft pick on him. Got him for the free. The Detroit Lions actually had him at first, but they just released him. And for the last topic of this Redskins report, I know y'all gonna miss me, but I promise to keep bringing y'all more consistent videos. Just been very busy, been looking at a lot of film. I'm gonna get that Jordan Brailford film out there to y'all. But back to this Redskins report. The Redskins front office made some changes recently. Most notably, they hired Pro Football Focus's Connor Behringer to be a football strategy analyst for the Redskins. And this just shows the effort and capital that the Redskins are putting towards the analytical side of football. The Redskins are basically trying to get down to the bottom of things. They want more answers to the question why, and they want to be able to predict the future. The Redskins have recently been investing more into analytics and technology, and this hire shows that they're not playing about it. And I kind of like it. You got to update what you're doing. You got to improve. You got to go with what's hot. And if analytics is working, then get on them analytics. Thank you, Redskins. Also, just to make sure I include even the little stuff, because I am street scores. Y'all know me. The Redskins promoted college scouts Cole Spencer and David Whittington to national scouts, promoted Matt Evans to college scout in the Southeast region, named former BLESTO scout Harrison Richard to college scout in the Southeast region, named former assistant Peter Picarelli the new college scout in the Northeast region. They named scouting assistant Ron Rose the new BLESTO scout in the Northeast region, and they hired Tyler Clater as a scouting assistant. I know that may not, mean a lot to all of y'all, but, I got to include even the little stuff if it's a real Redskins report. I'm not leaving any information out. No shortcuts around here. Now for the Twitter poll this week, stemming from what we talked about earlier concerning Trent Williams. How do you want the Redskins to handle the situation? Number 1, give him any and everything he wants. Number 2, trade him for the best value possible, like a Stephon Diggs or a good left tackle that clearly won't be as good as Trent, but whatever. 3, release him. Or 4, wait it out and make him choose between playing or missing checks. It's honestly a very ugly situation, and it hit us out of nowhere. We thought everything was smooth. We were worried about other stuff and the QB battle, and then out of nowhere Trent Williams came. But I prefer for the Redskins to give him any and everything he wants in some form of a deal that gives him more guaranteed money, if that's what he wants. Just give him more guaranteed money in his current deal, and that will give us until the 2021 offseason to find a great tackle replacement for Trent, whether through the draft or free agency, which is almost impossible though, honestly. Or we can give him an extension with more guaranteed money included and hope that he can stay healthy over the next 4 or 5 years and not have to worry about the problem at all. Either way, the Haskins experience, which is a huge priority for this team, will have to get put on hold if Trent Williams does not start for the Redskins this season. We cannot let our franchise quarterback get thrown out there to the wolves. And I want him to start as soon as he's ready, which is hopefully as soon as possible, week 1. But we need Trent Williams out there protecting his blind spot. And if it's not about the money, if it ain't about the money, fix it, Redskins. Change everything around to make this man happy. Because like I said earlier, he probably isn't the only person who currently has a problem with the Redskins medical staff, or will have a problem with the medical staff in the future. We may run into more situations like this if we continue to ignore player displeasures with the medical staff. But yeah, make sure y'all go to the Twitter link in the description and give your answers to this question. Much appreciated. I just like these Twitter polls. I like to get a feel for where Redskins Nation is at on certain topics. So please go to the link in the description, answer this Twitter poll for me. I appreciate it. But that's it for this offseason episode of Redskins Report. I hope I made up for all of the time I missed. Thanks for the view. I'm going to keep bringing y'all updates on the Redskins year round. I'm going to be bringing y'all my film sessions on every player we drafted very soon, and maybe even some undrafted free agents as we get closer to the regular season, if I have time, one by one. And I'm also going to bring y'all some Redskins reports, of course, some debate topics like this, and of course, I'm going to start getting some live streams out there to y'all. The live streams are so fun. I need to start doing them again. I'm definitely going to have them up and running during the season. That's without a doubt. Can't wait for the regular season to start so I can just have these live streams going. We can have heated debates. We can have chill talk sessions. We can talk football, everything y'all want to talk about. Can't wait. But make sure y'all get in them comments and let me know. How do you feel about this Trent Williams situation? Who do you think will win the QB battle and why? Do you believe the Samaje Perine hype is real? And do you think our young players will step up big this year and in the future so that we can save some salary cap space? And of course, also make sure you Dolomite Fake punch that like button, favorite, subscribe, I'll subscribe back, and most importantly, comment and share. And again, thank y'all for the support. I'll catch y'all later. I'm out.